recording. Most people are used to getting on workshops or webinars or all whatever. And, it's 15, 20 minutes of how great I am and all these people you never heard of and how great they've done. Because what they're doing is actually disrespecting you and me, waiting for the thing to fill. But we always start on time because we really appreciate you being here. And I know a pilot like Pete, who's a helicopter pilot. He's my own personal lesson S-man. I don't know if you remember him from WKRP in Cincinnati. But anyway, so we're going to start right on time, and it's on time. So let's do this. Let's share. Okay. And I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go here. And whoops. So that's not going to work. I'm technically not the best, which should be proof to you that anybody can make it at anything. If I can, you can. Okay. And we're going to go
So, Marquis,
up here to more.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yes.
Whatever crazy thing is going on with my computer is happening again. So I'm going to have to off. Something's going on where I hear this loud clicking.
Okay.
So
Can any of you guys hear any clicking? No?
No, it's just me.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait, it just stopped.
Okay. All right. So if you don't have the worksheet, which we strongly suggest, because that's how you learn. So I hope you have your worksheet. We're going to get you guys involved. And is Alia? Okay. Okay. So aloha from beautiful Kauai, Hawaii. And I just have this here, not to get into a whole lifestyle and how great my life is, but aloha is actually, I thought it meant hello and goodbye, but alo means spirit and ha is breath. So I hope the breath of the divine is on you and it opens your mind up to some new ideas. This is actually, we hike this on a regular basis, haven't for a few years, but this is why we decided to live here. So I know you probably hate this. I kind of talked about it before. And we're going to skip all the long stuff about testimonials of people you never heard of and self-aggrandizing. And, and then, I just don't like all that stuff. To me, it's disrespectful. So we're going to get right into it. Dave's going to take you through our agenda.
All right, you guys. I think my camera is disconnected, but I'll try to fix that. All right, so we're going to do 10 seconds on each of our credentials because they're all listed in your worksheet and they're all verified. What we're talking about today is why goals always collapse, those hidden reasons that your motivation fades and the goals disappear, and why willpower isn't enough and it's never going to create lasting change. What you need is a map. You need a roadmap, and that's what we're going to give you here today. The systems and habits that keep successful people moving, you're going to get that map. How to align your identity, your actions, and your subconscious, and how to keep that in alignment with your goals.
Right. So 10 seconds is hard to tell my wife's story, but she was a single mom living paycheck to paycheck when I met her. And she found metaphysics. She's the CEO of Training Solutions, was the #2 trainer for a $450 million company. Again, her credentials are all there, but she's had this amazing online marketing success with 6 different courses, all successful. So we pumped it into ChatGPT. If I narrowed the ranking specifically to programs designed to help someone become stronger, more purposeful, more authentic version of themselves, my personal assessment, and there you see it right there above Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, 7 Habits, and Landmark are the Master Key Experience, which is our landmark course. And by the way, it's not a pitch. You can't buy that course. Everybody's scholarshiped into it from previous members and standing tall. And then the first one she built was Go 90 Grow for all the network marketers out there. And it rated #1 in the world. Pretty remarkable for a high school grad. Okay.
Yeah, Mark is the author of 4 books now, 3 of which are bestsellers, and Standing Tall is now in 3 languages. I love What Am I Worth? If that's a great book for kids, if you have them or they're in your life. And co-authored Seven Laws of the Mind with Laurie. And the business stuff, it's all in your handout. No need to go over this. But what I want to tell you is the guy standing next to Mark right there is the CEO of a $2 billion company. And Mark is coaching him. And he is singing the praises of how utilizing the coaching that this company provides can put anybody on a path to what they really want. But why should you care about all this? What the blessings and achievements were? No, you shouldn't. What you should care about is how we got there, the purpose, and discover how we manifested this stuff because we didn't do anything that we're not going to share with you today.
Right.
All right. You ever started confidence with one of these things only to see the goal fail? You were going to lose weight, start a business, save some money up. Going to start reading every day, something simple. Exercise every day, meditation, build relationship. Nope. What happens? They disappear. They just fade away. Most people don't fail at setting worthwhile goals. They fail at sustaining the change on a daily basis. And Voltaire said, who was one of those French Enlightenment guys, he said, change is annoying, certainty is absurd. And I said to Mark, what does that mean? And he told me that change. It's hard to change habits. That's why people don't do it because it's hard mental labor. Um, you stay the same and you wish, and that's absurd. To not do these little daily things to give you what you actually want, that's just, it's crazy. So, what I want you to do is grab your worksheets. We're going to give you a couple minutes. And we want you to write down here what goal have you restarted more than once? How many times have you told yourself, I'm going to do it this time? Get started, last for 3, 4, 5, maybe days, maybe a week or two. And then it just slowly fades out of your life and you forget you even made the goal. So write that down. And remember, I love this quote: players get paid, spectators pay to watch players play. Don't come here today and take this time and not play.
Be vulnerable. Like we always tell you in the videos, these are workshops, so come here and do some work. We're not going to put anybody on the spot, which was normally my nature.
Reddy McRedderson, yes.
Yeah.
Well, because you don't mind being put on the spot. And we all think that the world thinks what we think,
Of course.
but that's not the
While
case.
simultaneously thinking the whole world is messed up but me.
Yeah,
Think they
there you
think the
go.
way that I do, but they don't have it right.
I love
Okay.
irony.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So we'll stop the share. And anybody have anything done that they'd like to share and open the floodgates so other people see your vulnerability and happy to participate. Yes, John.
Um, starting starting to study about tax preparation and tax resolution.
Yeah. And how many times did you plan to do that and not done it?
Oh, too many to count.
And now you are.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, because
Yes, he is.
John and I are working in a private mastermind together, which we're going to talk about a little bit why that's important. But thanks, John, for being so vulnerable. And how do you feel now that you are sustaining the habit?
I feel so empowered.
Mm.
I feel I can do it. I
Yeah,
want to do it. I
Yeah.
want to do it every
that's
day. I
great.
want to do it every day.
Yeah. The little emails you send me, I'm looking forward to them. Like I didn't get one day and I was almost I wasn't really disappointed. I was like, oh, I hope John's okay. He's inspiring me. Change when you see change in other people, it inspires you. Anybody else?
Hey, Mark, it's Ray. It
Hey, Ray.
took me years to get into the habit of a regular exercise program. Took me years. I started, I quit. I started, I quit. There's an old saying that if you, and I did this for many years, where I exercise was playing squash and racquetball, so I never had any trouble because I was having fun. But then I got to a certain age where, and I had an injury that kind of set me back. And I went downhill for a number of years. And then of course, I knew I needed to get back at it. I was putting on weight. And I probably took a decade and, starting and failing, starting and failing. And then finally, I thought I better get serious and get some help. And so I went and found like some guys that I paid to get me to beat me, right? To to beat it into me. So I'm there today, but it took some beating to get
Yeah.
to get me into it.
Now, there's a reason that people start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. And this was a discovery that I made in 1993, late 93. And with some practice by 94, everything changed. And we're going to actually go over that today. Thanks, Ray. And by the way, you do look good, man. You're looking better every time I see you. So, okay, there we go. Okay, so
So this discovery that Marky's talking about is motivation is emotional and emotion doesn't last. Have you ever been really sad about something or really happy about something and then the feeling fades? Emotion won't last. Habits are neurological, and habits, once established, will always beat emotion. Here's some examples. People make these New Year's resolutions. Has anybody ever made one? I know I have. This year's going to be different. 2020 is going to be my year, right? And then it's the same as 2025. It's okay. Everybody does it. Sign up for a gym. You don't go. I mean, I've talked to gym owners and like 70% of the people never show up to get memberships because emotion doesn't last. A diet isn't going to last unless you make a neurological change in your habits. So in your worksheet, I want you guys to write down what goal have you depended on motivation to accomplish. So you got motivated, you heard a speaker, you saw a podcast, whatever, you got motivated. So what goal have you depended on motivation to accomplish?
you didn't know you were going to work today, did you, Lois? Well, she knows she's worked with us before. But
You guys
anyway,
do this work, okay? Even if you don't share it here, do this work. Emotion and motivation is not going to get it done. You need a map. But if you don't have a destination, the map is pointless.
yeah,
So do this work, okay? Write down something that you really wanted and you just didn't get it done. And it's okay. No, there's no point in feeling bad about it. Let's
yeah,
just fix it.
yeah. What we're trying to do is create in you in these first two questions, Kevin, is what's known as metacognition. Metacognition
Ooh,
is
fancy words.
it's a fancy way to say observing your behavior and your thoughts. Observing your behavior and your thoughts. More than 95% of the people don't do it, which is why, as Napoleon Hill pointed out and learned in the study, 95% of the people fail to feel fulfillment and contentment in their life. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that, but the external reasons, the consumer narrative that's out there, the state of the economy and all that, they become irrelevant when you find out what your pattern is. Awareness is the beginning of change. So these questions, like Dave said, even if you're just writing it yourself and you don't feel like sharing it, that's okay. Again, players get paid, spectators pay to watch players play. And so we're trying to help you become aware of your patterns so that when we reveal this discovery that I made in late 93, early 94, and that Dave and I built our careers on, it'll play for you. So at least be writing. There's something about writing it down. Just saying, oh yeah, I heard Tony Robbins one time and I was going to take massive action. And you did for a couple of days, but you're relying on that. It didn't happen. Anybody? Yes, Rebecca. There she is.
I apologize. I was late. I was on a phone call, got distracted. Yes, I do want to reach a certain goal before August 14th, and it requires me making contact and connecting with people. I don't know why I'm not getting it done. I have no clue what's going on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. I
Thank
don't
you.
understand.
This is the pathway to transformation, awareness
I
and
need help.
vulnerability. Because here's the whole thing about my own shortcomings. Nobody cares.
No.
They don't care. They're too busy thinking about themselves.
That's right.
And or they're judging, you know. And those that mind don't matter, and those that matter don't mind. So I want to be with the ones that don't mind and are going to support me. But if I don't put out there what I need, it's not going to happen. Yes, Lois.
Hi. So I have two things going on. One, I was in a routine of exercising, like almost addicted, like looking forward to 5 o'clock every morning feeling. And then I got sick, and there was a 2 week break, and I have not been able to jump back in, and it is driving me nuts. And then another thing that's happening is there's the group that I run, Woven, and it's beautiful and it's growing beautifully. And but there's some things that I want to do in preparation for what I feel might be the future of the group. And I am getting resistance like crazy within my own brain to just do the things to like learn whatever it is I'm supposed to learn in between where the group is now and where it's going to end up being. I can't explain it. Like I know there's a gap between where it's going to be and where it is now. And I know there's work that needs to be done to get it to where I think it's going. And I'm just like frozen.
Right. So you're relying on something to motivate, an emotional motivation, right? I'm just going to get up and be motivated and get
I
it
just got to
done.
do it.
Yeah.
Like
No, what
it's
I'm
there and
saying
it's
is
heavy.
what I'm saying is don't go too yellow on me here, my friend. Okay. Okay. There are 4 personality types
Look
that
at me,
we
look.
yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
is that in other words, you're waiting to be motivated to do it, right? That's the whole
I
thing. This is the
suppose.
question is what goals have you relied on motivation, right? And when
Yeah.
we get off track, we wait to get motivated. I remember I went into a gym when I was 8 years old, first time. And while I've met some wonderful people and wonderful companions over the years, nothing like the fabulous Davene.
Mhm.
But I have to say, my first love is the gym, you know. And I had
Mm.
a severe leg injury, and she kept saying, "Why don't you just work out?" It was a leg injury, so why don't you work out in the chair? And I wouldn't do it. So we're going to reveal that today. John, did you have something?
I, yes, I wanted to be a success in network marketing, so I joined the Master Key back in 2016, thinking that would make the difference for me. Um, but I did not have the right mindset, so I
Yeah,
did not.
yeah. Yeah, and that's waiting to be motivated, and that's the big trap. That's the big pitch from the self-help industry, which you need to know the real name for self-help is shelf help. It's just books that look pretty on your shelves. We can quote them, but they don't make any difference in our life. They're shelf help. They're not self-help. That's another whole deal. Anyway, so why does Subby win? Subby is our little pet name for the subconscious mind. It runs the show. It runs 95+% of your life. As a matter of fact, Karen, the decisions that you think you're making, they're made 7 seconds minimally before in your subconscious mind. What does the subconscious want? It wants familiarity not necessarily success. Your conscious mind will set an intention, but the subconscious is running the show. And it's not saying this will make Mark a better person. This will get Ray in better shape. It kept us alive yesterday. That's its primary function, is survival, self-preservation, number one thing. And it takes no chances. What does that mean? If it feels safe, that's what it's going to go with. And it sees the whole, even your self-sabotaging behaviors, stopping, procrastinating, quitting, restarting, quitting, restarting. It sees that as one of the reasons you're alive. It's an idiot savant, and you need to learn how to train it. Familiar feels safe, but a little train that could. So my mom was a vociferous reader, and like most kids, 30, 40 books in my room. My brother told me the boogeyman was under the bed and he was going to eat my face. So my mother reads The Little Train. He was 8 years older than me, and turned out to be I hope everybody has a brother like I did. But anyway, so my mother read The Little Train That Could. And this is how we feel routine makes us feel safe, including the routine, Rebecca, of self-sabotaging habits. Again, you've got to get this. Subby sees the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, and everything that you didn't do yesterday, Ray, is why you're alive today. So it's going to repeat that. This is the breakthrough, okay? So The Little Train That Could, the next night my mother says, what do you want to hear? Little Train That Could. Why? I woke up the first morning and I still had my face. So Little Train That Could. Next night, Little Train That Could. Next night, Little Train That Could. Next night, Little Train That Could. And we get tricked by ourselves into believing that routine is safe. You know what that is? That's your subconscious mind. And you can't think your way out of it. You have to act your way out of it. So, the rise or fall, who wins? Subby, without training, does not rise to the level of your intention, your goals. This is why goals collapse. This is what this webcast or this Zoom is all about. Listen, this is important. I'm repeating it, not because I'm 77. It's crucial. It changed my life. It changed Davene's life. It changed Lori's life. Okay. And I don't mean a little, I mean dramatically. Now, it's not about turning into someone else. It's about returning who you were always intended to be. You were made first class by first class. You are connected to all truth, all wisdom. But there's a lot of interference patterns out there that Subby, not intentionally, but it was conditioned to believe. How do we get conditioned? By observing, and from 0 to 7 years old. That's it. They're built in there. So without training, Subby does not rise to the level of goals. We fall to the level of our conditioning. In other words, the habit mind. Bottom line, Dave kind of touched on this. We do not determine our lives. Our habits do. And where are they? They're in the subconscious mind. Now, I'm Polish and Italian, and after studying this stuff for about a year and a half, I think it was about a year and a half, sometime in there. I'm Polish and Italian, and I went, oh, subconscious, it's below my consciousness. We're doing these things unconsciously. The Little Train That Could, over and over and over again. The good things, yes. The things that are self-destructive, yes. And Lipton, who's a brilliant, brilliant guy, probably the head of the whole neuro science world. And he's really a groundbreaker. You know, he says about 70% of our habits are self-sabotaging. Okay, so this is an identity problem. It's not a character problem. Let me say that again. It's an identity problem, not a character problem. Where's your identity housed? In the subconscious mind. Example, goals conflict with our identity. I want to be healthy. That's the goal. But I never stick with diet or exercise. That's the habit. And breaking your diet is what? Normal. And is the identity of the subconscious mind. I want financial freedom. I've never really been able to save money, or I'm not good with money. Okay. I'm not good at math. Okay. Abracadabra. Abracadabra is, not about magic or magicians. The ancients actually gave us the instructions to tell us how to train our mind. Abracadabra is 2 words. Abra meaning I create, cadabra as I speak. So what you verbalize, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to make it. Whether it's in your mind or your words, it doesn't matter. The subconscious mind says, okay. It does not argue. It does not rise to your intention. Your intention will fall to your identity. Listen to me. You need no courses on manifesting. That's all bullshit. Okay, that's all con artists and hustlers out there. Get in the right vibration. You were born in the right vibration. Did you pick up some bad habits unconsciously? Yeah, B.F. Skinner said, unfortunately, society attacks when we're helpless. And if you don't know who Skinner is, you should. He deserves at least equal billing with Freud and Jung. Okay? You have an automated manifesting mechanism. And Lois, you are manifesting perfectly. You always have been and you always will be, depending on the kind of house you grew up in. Sometime between 12 and 14 years old, 10 and 14 years old, you begin manifesting what's in your subconscious mind. Your life is a printout of the identity housed in your subconscious mind. Change, you think, I'm going to change. Subby says, well, oh, that's danger. Anything different feels like danger. This is it, they're going to go for what? The thing that's safe that kept you alive. This is your identity is locked if you don't become aware of it, which is what those questions are about, is to help you metacognition, fancy word, like I said before, for be the observer of not only your reality, but be the observer of the way you're thinking. Subby works to stay consistent with what it did the day before, with the identity it believes to be true. It never argues. It never says, Lois, you can do better. That's your conscious mind. When you have a thought, 2,000 synaptic connections fire in the conscious mind, 44 billion fire in the subconscious mind. Who's running the show? Okay. So on the worksheet, 2 minutes to think, be a player. What belief about yourself might be quietly working against a goal you've set a few times? If you're struggling financially, are you criticizing the government, blaming the economy? This is normal. You have to think on that worksheet. Think, right? What belief do you have about yourself? You might be thinking, if you're struggling financially, you might be thinking, if the economy turned around, everything would be better. If people just recognized how smart I am. That was one of mine. Okay. Pete, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, so a lot of times I just think, if I just had the money to do this, I own an RV park. If I just had the money to add this to the RV park, everything would be doing better. Or,
Right.
you
So
know, if
your
I
belief
could,
is that you don't have the money to
right,
do it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's
So why
holding you
not
back.
yeah, and then just do something.
Yeah. And what's the subconscious say when you say you don't have the money?
Okay,
Oh, okay. Okay.
you don't have to have money. I won't give you money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah. My life would be better you know, if I just lost 30 pounds, 30 more pounds, I'm down from 367 to 235 this morning. Pretty cool. And I've kept over 100 of it off for over 35 years. But if my habit is going to the fridge every night instead of hitting the floor and doing 25 crunches or 25 push-ups, right? What was the subconscious? What made my subconscious feel safe? Eating at night and self-loathing the next morning. I mean, how do you have a love-hate relationship with a scale?
That's what it's used to. You've been doing it over and over and over and over and over, and that's what
Yeah.
it wants.
John,
Matter.
I'm not good enough.
There it is. Thank you, John, for your vulnerability. Anybody else
That's
ever feel
that's
that way?
bottom line right there.
Another way you might say you're not good enough. Thank you,
I'm not
Katie.
worthy.
Another way you might say you're not good enough is what?
I'm not worthy.
Who am I kidding? Who am
Oh,
I kidding? Who am I kidding? Michael.
Same thing. That's the same as I'm not worthy.
Yeah,
BTW.
yeah.
I'm going to just say sort of the opposite of that, but it's the same thing. And that my problem is that I have this belief that I'm a good person. And if I change course at 64 years old, then all the things that I've done in the past were wrong. And that makes me not a good person. So it makes me fight, like you said, identity, fight that identity of who I always was. And that helps me just slip right back into where I was.
I'm
And
gonna,
Thus the human drama, right?
yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Michael.
as I said,
Here's what
please,
here's
I'll
what you
get
got to
there.
get. Here's what you got
Hopefully,
to get. What you got
a
to
bit after
get.
4 o'clock.
What you got to get. That's interesting.
Okay.
Is you can train your brain, Kevin, right now, different to the subconscious mind signals danger. You can actually train your brain so that something different is just something different. It's not danger. It's just different.
It's fight or flight. That instinct that's in us, fight
Yeah,
or flight.
yeah,
That's where that comes from. But it can be overcome, and it
yeah,
is all the time, every day.
yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Once that amygdala fires up, you need to learn how to convert, because fear gives us two great things, focus and energy, which is the two requirements for change.
Yep.
But if you
Mhm.
fall into the habit of I'm not good enough, or, does this mean my whole life has been wrong? Whatever. Thank you, Michael. Boy, can I feel that one. Yes, Lois.
I think for me, like especially with where I think the group is going and where it is now, and the gap in between has to do with I'm not smart enough. So that is a hindrance for me.
Uh-huh.
And just like time, like I don't have enough time because I work long hours, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So
Yeah. 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 But at the core of it is I'm not enough, you know, and I know you and you are, but it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think. Okay. Yes, Stephanie, you're muted,
Go.
hon.
Here we
Sorry.
go. Here we go. Hello. Loving this. Um, so it's like a few thoughts that come to mind. I'm supposed to be poor. I'm supposed to struggle with money. I can't make money being creative, and I can't be a successful entrepreneur. Some
Yeah.
of that I know who said it with such strong emotion. It just
Yep.
went to my core,
Yep.
and I've
That's
got everything
beautiful.
else. I've got everything else in place, and I should be doing better because I can, and I can't.
Yeah.
So I'm back.
And
I'm back.
I think everybody can feel you. And I think what's really important to understand is she knows their lies, but they're in subby. And we're going to give you the solution in a minute. Um, thank you so much for your vulnerability.
Thank you,
Uh,
sweet Stephanie.
so fantastic. Yes, Rebecca.
yeah, I struggled since I was 19, wanting to be an entrepreneur and be successful. The money would be great. I wouldn't be doing it if it was just for the money. Purpose. I found purpose, but I always still have in my head I've got myself labeled ADD, ADHD, never been diagnosed with it, but my sister's just like me, so she was diagnosed. But that I have this learned helplessness. That's what it is
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Yep.
For whatever reason,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I'm done. I want to be done with it.
Right. Right. And
You
we
can
need to
do it.
change. We need to
The map
stream.
is here.
Yep.
So
Fantastic.
grateful. So
Christopher,
grateful.
good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability.
I got issues with it. It's kind of to me, it almost doesn't make sense because I have a fear of failure. But at the same time, when I work on that and I get past that, then it becomes a fear of success. Like, what am I going to do now if I make this?
Yeah. Yeah. Who will I be if I don't have, if I'm not broke,
Yep.
overweight, and alone, if I start making money and I have a great companion, you know, oh, this is the subconscious mind saying, danger, because those
Mhm.
negative self-sabotaging things, the subconscious mind sees the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, and that's why you're alive, and that's what we're doing again today. That's that. I'm running the show. Yes,
Mhm.
Pete. Thank you, Christopher.
Another one I lie to myself about is sometimes I say to myself, I know I'm in a great position at work, but I've got everybody fooled. I'm a fraudster. They don't know that I don't really know all this. It's I don't know why I say that. Think that.
Yeah,
But say it out loud sometimes.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
so identify with that, Pete. When Mark started publicly calling me the fabulous Davene, it was really hard for me. I was like, I am not fabulous. I don't know. And I don't want him going around telling people I'm fabulous. And then they're going to think I'm conceited or whatever. I am fabulous and I don't really care what anybody thinks. So, but that changed with time. That
Yeah.
changed with following.
Yep. The map. That's the deal. So what do successful people do? What's the map? They build systems instead of chasing motivation. Think of all the times you've been highly motivated, really charged up to do it, whether it was a YouTube thing you watched or something you read or whatever, a seminar you went, who knows, right? Uh, Successful people don't do that. They don't rely on that. They understand what we're talking about today. The subconscious is running the show. I need to reprogram it. So they build systems instead of chasing motivation. They know what you are learning right this minute. Right this minute. Subby calls the shots, and I can train it. And they know that they need to train it if they want that intention to supersede habit. And here's the deal. Repetition is the only path to transformation, and technology has made us mentally lazier and lazier and lazier and almost pathetic because, you can find a restaurant, the directions and everything else in a nanosecond. We expect everything to be convenient, comfortable, and instant. It isn't. Change takes is a challenge, and it's beautiful. All you got to do is look at nature, a butterfly or a seed. Those two things, we see the plant grown and we see the butterfly flying. The process for them to get there is ugly. If you didn't know what a seed was and you saw it breaking apart, you'd say, oh my God, it's destroying itself, right? Repetition, listen, is the only path to transformation. It's repetition. And the thing that will lock it in, Miriam, is a mastermind alliance, not a cookie club, but someone that will keep you on track with your plan and your purpose. This is accountability. And this is an announcement in the workshop we're doing 2 weeks from now. You people are the first to know. I am going to do 5-day challenges with people one-on-one. It's only going to cost you $50, but we don't want the money. All you'll have to do is make a contribution to a 501c3 of your choice. We just want you to give something to somebody else so that there's some value to it. And I will work with you for 5 days one-on-one, okay? And help you with this stuff, give you an accountability partner. Successful people know that the only thing the will is used for, willpower, is nonsense. Doesn't work. That's intention. What's going to win? Identity. They know that it's the path to failure. This is successful people. They use their will for the only thing it's for, and that is to control your thinking. You change your thought, and I can't remember who said it, but I think it was Stephanie, that she was told some things in a highly emotional state. Emotion downloads the program faster, good or bad, doesn't matter. Okay.
Yep.
The change of thought, charged with emotion, that's what creates belief. And your subconscious mind now has a different belief. So when that stimulus comes, it's going to react differently to the refrigerator at night if you're an overeater. Okay. You're not going to do it on willpower. You have to use your will for only one thing. This is Wallace Wattles. This is the Buddha. This is Jesus, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Whitman, Emerson, Thoreau, and my favorite, Nietzsche, who said, and those were seen dancing were thought insane by those who couldn't hear the music. Okay. The music of vitality that's in you. Thought, feeling, charged with feeling, a new thought charged with feeling creates a belief. That creates a habit through what? Repetition equals transformation. That creates different actions, and that's the only thing that'll alter the circumstances. That's the big discovery. That's it right there. I wish I could say, stand on your left foot, cover your right eye with your left hand, sing Billy Joel's River of Dreams, and everything will be all better. I know that sounds like nonsense, and so is all those shelf help books, because they don't
Self-help.
teach you how to do what? Train your subconscious mind. It's repetition and a mastermind partner. I'll be taking 5 people on for a 5-day challenge, not in a group, being you, one-on-one, okay, to help you do this. So this is going to be pretty exciting. Whoop.
All right. So why is change annoying? Well, we've been talking about it the whole time. It's the conflict between your identity and what you actually desire. And as Voltaire said, certainty, or in other words, staying the same, certainty is absurd. And what is more true than this? Nothing changes if nothing changes. But one of the reasons that people don't change is because they don't have the mastermind support. They don't have the things in place that they need to make that change. So nothing changes if nothing changes. So we got to give you a map. So here's a 16-year map that we've been putting together for 16 years, which is how long we've been on Kauai. Successful people don't rely on willpower because willpower is emotion and it fades. They build systems that support success. They always have a mastermind. Don't even consider it without a mastermind. They abandon consumer narrative goals, what others want, or in other words, what B.F. Skinner calls the conditioning. Conditioning has been put on us about what we should want, and we never really figure out what we do want. So we abandon those narratives. They find their purpose first. Why am I on the planet? Then they add the goals to that purpose. And on September, what did we decide, Marky? The 7th,
I'll look it up.
we start the vision workshop. So anybody that got an email about this workshop will also get an email about the vision workshop. But what you want to do is clear the space because you need that map. And if you've done the vision workshop before and you're still not achieving what you want to achieve, you need to do it again. Okay, so it's 4 hours. Think about why you're on the planet. Now, Lois is close, right? She's got these things where she's in service to other people and it's bringing her so much joy. Why are you on the planet? It's not to chase the goals that consumer narrative is telling us about. So I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm going to say right now. Can you have the next slide, Marky?
Yep.
Goals fail because they are not aligned with your authentic purpose in life. So think, why are you on the planet? Find the pattern and get ready for the vision workshop. If you haven't taken the quiz, the Mark J quiz, what's holding you back? If you could put that link in there, Laurie, you want to take that quiz and you want to take the suggestions that we give you after you take the quiz. Because not only are your results instant without a paywall, so are your solutions. Those are also instant. So right now, let's go to work. Grab your handout, and I urge you to be as truthful as you can here. Nobody can see what you're writing, and you don't have to share it. So get in there, get into that place, and be authentic about this. Write down one important goal. And more importantly, write down why it matters to you. Then you're going to write down, how do you repeatedly sabotage that? So, for example, Mark's talking about going to the refrigerator late at night, sabotaging that goal. And what small action can you repeat daily for that goal? So go ahead and hit your worksheets and write that down.
Yeah. Great job.
And if anybody wants to share, go ahead and raise your hand. Consistency is going to beat motivation every time, you guys. So you got to do this. If this feels difficult, it's because it is. This is hard work. This is the hard mental labor that gets you what you want. Laurie, can you drop the worksheet in there again?
Yes, ma'am, I'm on it.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So this has been great. We usually have 20 minutes of discussion after, but I thank everybody for being a little vulnerable and open the floodgates. This is how we work with people if you've never been with us before. This is how we work with people. John.
Sure. I want to partner with my brother in his business. Why is it important to me? Because I want to prove something to myself. And what's held me back is I haven't it, I haven't believed strongly enough in it.
Yeah.
And then one day I just keep on studying every day.
Yeah. And so the one small habit that you can repeat daily, which I know you're doing now, why don't you share with that what you're doing with people right now?
Well, I'm just basically where I'm studying both tax preparation and tax resolution each 2 hours per day.
Right. And he's reading something every day out loud.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And he's got a mastermind partner. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm so proud of you, John.
Thank you.
Anybody else feel like opening up a little bit? Hi, Karen. Karen's making some beautiful hassocks, ottomans, I guess is the new word for that.
It's not a new word.
Hi.
Hassock would be the new word. Ottoman would be the old word.
Okay.
Oh, Oxid. Oh, I never heard of that before. How are you?
Good, good.
Still
Anybody
working
else
on
want
my
to share?
Mark,
Yes.
hi, Mark. You hear me?
Hey, Bill Knox, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, dog?
So nice to see
Hey.
you.
It's great seeing you guys. I swear it is. It's been such a long time.
A long time.
Yeah, man. I like all of us after coming through COVID, you really had to slap yourself upside the head to give yourself a reality check because the world changed. But getting back on your feet, we all had to do it. And I started doubting everything. And it was like my health started going sideways, you know. It's like, hey, what's happening? AFib, oh, doctors, cardiologists, you know, the whole smear. And I started doubting what was important. Was my old goals even important anymore? You know, but deep down inside, it still burns because you want more than you have, regardless of your current state. But it's hard to put it together. Because even during COVID, I had these networking groups I was working with. Everything started falling apart. The suppliers, the supply chain, products were going out. It was over. So then I was like, well, where do I go now? I'm I'm a jockey without a horse. You know what I mean? There was
Yeah.
nothing. There was nothing to do. So I was like, okay, you just got to get back, get healthy, and figure it out again.
Yeah.
And my Lord, it's been 4 or 5 years though. You know.
Yeah.
So
So here's the thing, abracadabra. Okay. I understand, you know, you and I have my brother used to say all the time, he's gone on to the next adventure. It's not the age, it's the mileage. And Bill, you and I got some miles on us. But here's what we're saying, and this is why a mastermind partner taking the test, like Davene just talked about, is so important. You said a very key thing. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? I'm willing to bet everything I got in front of me right now, which is about $60. Okay, I think that's what's laying here in my wall. But that's everything I got right now in front of me, and 2 pieces of Nicorette gum and a boom boom stick, right? Okay. I'm willing to bet it's not the first time you've said it's hard.
absolutely correct, sir.
And what have you trained your subconscious? It's hard.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
because you have some miles on you and because of COVID, we think, what? I'm too old.
Yeah.
How do I get started again? Do I have one more run in the hill in me? Those are the little potentially positive questions, but you've trained your mind what? That it's hard.
Yeah. It becomes
Instead of
comfortable to be hard.
fun.
Yeah.
Instead of fun.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. Imagine the example I can set for my grandchildren or whatever it happens to be versus it's hard, right? So
Right.
we like to call that, Dave coined this phrase years ago, paint yourself into a positive corner, grandkids, spouse, legacy, whatever. What small action can you repeat daily for the goal? Because here's the thing about a small action, and we've talked about this on other calls, and that is make a small promise every day. Your subconscious mind doesn't know, I promise to get a house in Kauai and I promise to brush the dog. It doesn't know the difference.
Right.
Once it buys in, it will work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to find the methods to meet a new intention. But you've got to get it to buy in. And the number one thing you get it to buy into is making a small promise every day. And now what we're talking about is one small action. What can you, like Dave said, what can you repeat daily? Promise to do it and do it. So maybe you're in network marketing. I promise to make 2 dials today. Okay. And when you do it, doesn't matter if you got answering machines. It doesn't matter if they both said you're out of your mind. I promised and I did it. You want to teach your subconscious mind. That's a small action that you can take to build the habit of keeping promises. That's the money. Dave and I have been doing this along with Lori for over 40 years, and we found the one thing, and we teach this in the Master Key experience, the one thing that separates the winners from the whiners is making and keeping promises. We actually have them start off with a chore that they can do, promise to do the chore that doesn't involve any money or anybody else to help them, and not clean out the whole cellar. Just like clean out the front seat of my car, which for me, that's a 2-day project.
Remember,
Right.
yeah, more is not better.
Yeah,
Tiny and consistent
right.
beats more every time. So find a tiny thing that you can do. Let's say it's the junk drawer in your kitchen. Let's say it's the closet. Every time you open it up, you're disgusted with yourself and you never clean it out. Something that you can do on your own and doesn't cost any money. That's especially if it's been bugging you. A lot of people leave things on the stairs and they walk by them. Stop doing that. That's a habit you can stop. Find little tiny things. This doesn't have to be life altering. It'll eventually be life altering if you commit to it.
Right. This what we're talking about right now. This is it. This is the discovery. Stop trying to do these big, great things that needs motivation, a total change in your identity. Just make a promise and keep it, no matter what. What's that word you love that he talks about? Not in ignominious failure, right? Is that the word?
Yes, if you don't fulfill your promise to yourself that you've written down, said you were going to do, did it, and then celebrated doing it, your destiny is ignominious failure.
Yeah.
And that's what most people are living with.
Yeah.
They're living their lives as little tiny daily failures, day after day after day, and beating themselves up about it. And reconfirming what Subby is telling you, which is you're not worth shit, and that's all you're ever going to get. You got to change the narrative by changing habits.
And what's really fascinating is W. Clement Stone, my original trainer in 1971, he proved beyond a shadow of a doubt it takes far less energy to succeed than it does to fail. The failure and then beating yourself up and pulling yourself off the mat, it's exhausting. Just do it now. Katie, you had your hand up.
What would your advice be to somebody that is still searching for their purpose? Like I'm just now letting go of the consumer narrative and trying to find out what matters to me
Yeah.
and what I want to do moving forward. So what promise could I make to myself daily?
Okay. That's a great question because it's really 3 questions in one, and maybe Dave has something to add. But to recognize the consumer narrative that all our goals, and we know the pitch, right? And the third piece of the pitch is the big thing. This will make you happy. This will make you successful. And here's the big hook. This will make you fit in. Nobody here thinks they're seeking other people's approval. We were turned into sniveling approval seekers when we went to school because they did what? They trained us to follow rather than think, to comply instead of express our individuality, get punished for being an individual, and worst of all, compete rather than what we were intended to do, which is work together, collaborate, and create. So that question is so huge. I want you to celebrate that you're asking that question, okay? And realize that purpose, here's the thing, write this down. Your purpose, when you're executing your purpose, it's about what happens to other people when you're doing your purpose. Now, let me clarify this so you understand it. It doesn't mean I'm doing something so Bill Knox's life is better. That's not it. It's when you start to freely express this magnificent, empathetic, love, compassionate person, where your default is happiness. That's our default. When you start to live in that space and you're living your purpose, those things start to come out of you. They're there. They're just sequestered. And when they start to come out of you, it's not that what you're doing actually helps Bill Knox, but it does because you're saying, hey, man, it's okay to be yourself. So you want to write down, who am I? Or as the Cheshire Cat said, who are you? When Alice said, which road should I take? And Alice said, and the Cheshire Cat said, where do you want to go? And Alice said, I don't know. Then the cat said, it doesn't matter. And you know what? That's us when we came out of school. That's us when we came out of school. We followed the road that was laid out for us. And so number one thing you can do is be excited for self-discovery. Number two, and this is streaming free on a lot of services, watch the movie Finding Joe. Because what you're really on the precipice of, Katie, is the hero's journey. I'm sensing you're done with the nonsense, you know, and this is about waking up to Alan Watts's reverse law. The more beautiful we want to be physically, the uglier we appear to ourselves. Oh, I got this one blemish over here, right? The more money that we want, it doesn't matter how much we have, it's never enough. And worst of all, the more spiritual we want to become, the more self-centered we become, instead of just be you. And get excited, watch Finding Joe, and get excited about, I'm going to discover the greatest person on the planet, which is what you're always intended to be. Does that help you at all?
Yes, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Great.
Thank you.
Miriam, did you have your paw up?
Hi.
I have to give a shout out to Miriam first because I posted a video of my dog running through a meadow and she's watched it like 10 times.
I know, I love it. Yeah, so I was just what everyone was saying, or what we were saying about like always trying to do, like I don't know, I think I have ADHD, but always trying to do so many things at the same time. And the last couple of weeks I've just been, because I have a serious spine injury and I suffer a lot with pain, and a big worry for me was, if I do this, am I going to be able to do this? Because I think I'm okay, and then the body's like, hi, you need to rest again. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I've just said no. Like, I've just kind of taken my time and done, like, if I just do this, instead of doing 10 things at the same time, I'm trying to do like what you said. I'm just trying to do the dishes and put the plates away. And then if I have to sit down, I'll sit down and not feel guilty about it. And like, I definitely, and even I used ChatGPT to try and help me today, actually, Mark and everyone. This might sound really silly, but it's a big thing for me. I have loads of things that I have to do. Like, I have a daughter, I have to do this, I have to do that. I'm on my own. I'm like, oh my God. And sometimes I'm kind of like, you've so much to do. And it's like, oh my God. But today I actually got loads of things on my list done, loads of things that have been bothering me for ages. And I think it's because I'm slowing down and I'm like, no, even if you just do this, that, and the other, you're still getting somewhere. And I noticed them slotting into place a little bit more for me. Whereas when there's so many things and you're just scattered nearly. So that's just one thing I wanted to say, is that I've noticed that things they will come around when you kind of slow down and stop beating yourself up, and it will come together like for you, and you'll feel so much better with, like, today. They're only little things, but they're big things to me, because there's loads of little things all adding up, and then I can't see or find my purpose, because I'm like, oh my God, how can I do that if I can't do these little things? But then when the little things start slotting into place, it frees up my mind for the other stuff. And even I start Junior, sorry, it's my dog. And I noticed myself generating loads of cool ideas today and stuff as well. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And she's so right. One thing at a time. One of the reasons we put 20 things on our to-do list is we don't realize it. And again, I'm back to Skinner. That is us saying all these things, right? Does three things. It stops us from realizing one thing that's going to happen. One, we're going to die. So don't waste today. Okay. But we don't have to think about it. Two, it gives us a feeling of worth. And three, it helps avoid the main thing, which is Katie's question. What's my purpose? Which when Dave talked about the vision workshop, that's what she was talking about. You will find your purpose on that vision workshop. It's about getting in alignment and you're going to love it. It's the most amazing piece of work that we stumbled into, me, Lori, and Davene. It's amazing. And you'll
We
love it.
didn't stumble into it, honey. We did the little things every single day.
Yeah.
We mastermind. We had a purpose and it came to us.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And that's what will happen. It's indisputable.
Yeah.
There is so much scientific evidence. There's so much ancient, historic, 8,000, 10,000-year-old evidence that this is what happens if you change your habits.
You change your habits. And to do that, do what Miriam was talking about. When you're doing the dishes, just do the dishes and do it great. To do great things, think great thoughts. Where right now, once you're into tomorrow or yesterday, the system's got you. The machine has you. It has you. It has you. And you'll buy a hack or some moron guru that's going to tell you how to get in the right vibration so a BMW shows up. I mean, do people actually believe that shit? Anyway, so we just
they're the people that believe that the curated caca on social media is real and that's what they need to have to be happy.
Yeah, right. And to fit in.
Exactly. I remember I wanted a Jeep so bad, right? I wanted a Jeep. Everybody that drove around Hawaii in a Jeep, I wanted a Jeep. I wanted a top down. I wanted to be able to drive in the sand. Never drove on the freaking sand, not once. But one time I did, and I got stuck and I got scared, and I never did it again. Hardly ever put this top down because here it's rain, sun, rain, sun, rain, sun, rain, sun. That's why it's so green and beautiful. And it was a piece of garbage. It was such a piece of junk. It broke and broke and broke and broke. I had a fight with Chevy over it. And the reason I wanted it was because I wanted people to say, oh, look at her. She's cool. She has a Jeep. That's what I wanted. And this is after I had enormous success. So we got to continue to do these things. It's eternal. If you want joy, peace, purpose, love, whatever it is that you want, higher power, whatever is going to bring you joy. And if you go to the vision workshop, you'll get a heck of a lot closer to figuring out what that is. You can have it. It can all be yours. You just have to do the little bits of work every day. And it's little. And most people won't do it.
Small wins. And like Dave said, celebrate that win. Subby doesn't know the difference between Miriam going to come to Hawaii for a month and doing the dishes.
That's right.
Doesn't know the difference. I know you guys don't believe that, but it's true. And your life has been lived under that truth. Okay. Like I know Bill Knox is not going to say it's hard anymore. And he'll catch himself 3 or 4 times. And I know with his sense of humor, he'll get a kick out of it. Because like Dave said, daily wins, small wins daily. What's the reinforcement? Celebrating it. You can attach any feeling you want to any experience. Because why? Subby don't know. It doesn't know that it doesn't know the difference between the feeling that you have when you held your first kid and brushing the dog can be exactly the same because you promised to. Doesn't know the difference. And that will download that feeling faster. Remember, thought charged with feeling creates belief. That creates habit. Now your identity wins and it's winning your desires. Okay.
Subby's job is to keep you alive, not to keep you happy. So whatever has been downloaded into your subconscious mind is what's ruling your existence. And that's what you have to change. And that takes small daily habits. That's all it takes.
Because what you'll learn and what Davene's really been talking about is most people look at the methods they have available to pick their intention. That's exactly what the machine wants you to do. The machine is going to do 4 things over and over and over again. Scare you, divide you, demoralize you, and then bring you to the circus once in a while. Okay? Successful people pick intention from their heart, which you'll learn in the vision workshop how to do that. You won't learn how to do it. We'll actually do it with you. It's 4 hours, 2 hours on 2 different days, the 8th and the 10th of September. Okay. And bring a couple of friends with you. It's so
I'm
much
sorry.
fun.
I thought it was the 7th and the 9th. I put that in there. It's the 8th and the 10th.
Yeah, 8 and 10. Yep. Tuesday and
So
Thursday.
that's Tuesday and Thursday.
Yep. Right.
Thank you for straightening me out on that.
And there's Katie's big question. What do you want? And how she separates herself from the consumer narrative. How Lori Enrico started to separate herself from the consumer narrative a while ago. And, now it's family first. And her little buddy, George, right, who's not really that little anymore. He's
No.
getting big. He's getting big.
Yeah.
And so the next workshop, how to rewire your mind for lasting change, we're going to go over that. And I will make an offer. And again, no money. You will have to pay and show a receipt for a 501c3 that you made a contribution to, not in our name. We don't want any of that. But by doing something like that, then I know you'll keep the commitment and you're into the give more, get more. So we're a little bit over, but it's because somebody opened the floodgates by being vulnerable, and that's what champions do. You were born a champion. You were born a king or a queen, and divinity, which has been commandeered, Kevin, by the religions out there, actually in the ancient texts, and I'm going to give you the 12 keys in a second to Sanskrit, which will really reinforce what we're talking about here today. Such a beautiful thing. Change is going to be seen as danger by the subconscious mind until you say, this is just different. We're safe. It's not going to kill us. So in Sanskrit, there's 12 things here. Number 1, you get a body. You're a spirit that gets a body. Number 2, you will learn lessons. Number 3, there are no mistakes, like Bill found out today. Only lessons. So him saying hard and sharing that on here was great. 4, and this was particularly 4 in Sanskrit for a guy like me, a lesson will be repeated until it's learned. 5, learning lessons doesn't end, Michael. Learning lessons doesn't end. It's a new chapter in your life. 6, there, which is what the machine wants you to think, is no better than here, right here. Be here right now, okay? 7, this is huge. Others, Rebecca, are merely a mirror of you. People that you like and admire, that's you. And people that annoy you, that's you. Okay. So celebrate the ones that inspire you or you like, and the ones that annoy you, the annoyers, fix yourself, Mark. Don't try to fix Katie. Okay. Of course, I want to fix everybody because it's in my best interest. 8, what you make of your life is up to you. Okay. Nothing wrong with a BMW and a new house, as long as it's confirmation of your power. If you think like Davene, that people are going to think I'm cool, you're in a lot of trouble. 9, the big one. Life has no meaning. It's never had any meaning. It'll never have any meaning. The only meaning your life is going to have is what you give to it. Make it a good one. 10, huge. All the answers are already in you. The word divinity, which I was talking about before, Kevin, the word divinity in the ancient scripts, it's not a religious word. It means to transcend limit. That's what it actually means. Okay. 11. Okay. What I just told you, 11 in Sanskrit says, you will forget all of this if you look outside yourself for meaning and happiness. 12. You can remember it whenever you want to be happy. And when were you happy? 0 to 3 or 4. That's your default. Okay. It's just been sequestered. You're not broken. Michael, I can't wait to hear about your new adventure. The challenge for all of us is, particularly in Western civilized countries is death. Katie has to let part of herself die to make room for the new. And Subby's going to say, no, no. And thus the human drama, like Davene likes to say, which is awesome. Rebecca, did you have something before we hop off here? Love to hear
Just
from you.
yes, that you read off that list. Is there a screen that we can screenshot that list that you just mentioned?
I recorded that yesterday. It'll be up tomorrow online.
Okay.
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 It's
I'm not
pretty
sure where I
cool.
go to find it. I don't know where I'm.
Just me on social media, TikTok, Facebook,
Okay.
whatever.
Thank you.
YouTube, World's Laziest Networker. It'll be on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Think so many people here participated today. So nice of everybody. We're grateful. Katie, thanks for piping up. Michael, I can't, like I said, wait for your new adventure. Lois, you got this. You got this. You know, what's great about you is to leverage your strength, which is that optimism, yeah, as a yellow, and your sense of humor. You are going, like I said, there are no mistakes, just lessons. And if you look at it with that wonderful lens that you have of slight self-deprecating humor, they're gonna love you. They're gonna love you. They already do. They already do. And sometimes mistakes that we make people feel more comfortable.
100%. I used to beat the crap out of myself for mistakes, and now it's human. Humans make mistakes.
Yeah.
Are we spiritual beings? Yes. Are we perfect and golden? Absolutely. But there's also a human factor, and humans make mistakes, and it's okay.
Yeah. They're just lessons. Unless you're like me and you need to learn it 15 or 20 times.
Yeah,
You know?
a mistake is a way to just get better. That's all it is.
Yeah. Oh, this is what I need to work on. And guess what? Bill Knox will tell us it's not hard, it's fun. Okay. Hey, peace, everybody. Thanks for being here. Get to markjquiz.com. Peace be the journey. And we're so grateful that you guys were here today.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. And make sure we didn't miss anything here. Yep. Thank
What do
you,
you mean in the
Gracie.
chat? Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I
good.
got it all. Peace.
Thanks, everyone.